very good evening to you. You are just in time for an hour and a half of news with unique insights from NTA's News Top Table. Tonight, more than 56,000 new polling units admitted into INEC's national collation sheets. It is the Day of the African Child, and issues of access to quality education and safety in school locations echo at different fora. In agribusiness, trade has not been straightforward, even for those who know their onions. In transportation, we will be on track with some real passengers in Ibadan, while some real line vandals have been apprehended and transported to detention. We also have stories of different states being proactive in tackling insecurity. While one is engaging the traditional institution, another is training vigilantes. It is a full lineup with business and sports news to spice it up. So stay with us for the full package as the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Buba, and this is News Extra. I welcome you. The Federal Executive Council has approved the Land Infrastructure Swap Initiative of the Federal Capital Territory Administration. The Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Musa Bello, announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the Council. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the reports that the Council also focused on ways and means of reducing road crashes in Nigeria.
The Federal Executive Council meeting, presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, deliberated extensively on a memo presented by the FCT administration which contains an update on the land swap initiative. The initiative, whose worth was put at about 1 trillion naira under the previous dispensation, is designed to remedy the infrastructure deficit in the Federal Capital Territory. This is by way of swapping land with private investors who would in turn provide the desired infrastructure.
And after a review of what has transpired over the years and also changes made, the Federal Executive Council approved that we now should continue with the land swap initiative on the basis of amendments to the procedure as well as new safeguards introduced so that investors, the FCT, that is the government, as well as off-takers will be protected.
On his part, Works and Housing Minister Babatunde Fashola presented a note to the Council on the increasing number of road traffic crashes along the federal highways. He said in January this year alone, the number of people who died from road crashes exceeded the combined numbers of those who died from both malaria and COVID-19 for the same month.
And whilst malaria and COVID were receiving national concerted attention, perhaps it was necessary to bring this to the attention of government as part of our strategy for protecting life and property. We saw that the biggest factor for these accidents: overspeeding, loss of control, wrongful overtaking, brake failure, tire blowouts. One thing that all of this points to is the role of the driver.
And various actions to be taken have been identified for the 3 tiers of government. Apart from enhancing patrols on the highways, more traffic signs and speed meters are to be installed, while drivers are to be continuously educated. The Federal Road Safety Commission has also been directed to focus more on Lagos-Ibadan, Abuja-Kano and Abuja-Kefi-Lafia highways, which have the cumulative highest number of accidents.
Our focus as a government is that we've agreed that the driver has a role to play, starting from education, certification from all levels. So this is going to be a multidisciplinary activity from ministries of education, ministries of information, the FRSC in terms of how they test, how they certify drivers, and that awareness hopefully will reduce the number of uncertified drivers on the road. Road traffic crashes are an occurrence everywhere in the world. The problem is, can you bring it down?
And as efforts are being intensified towards reducing road crashes in Nigeria and the attendant loss of lives, the minister explained that plans have been finalized for the development of an emergency life support system, a key element of the National Health Act signed into law by the president. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Voting points, a word that existed for about 25 years in the political history of Nigeria, has finally been deleted. The deleting of voting points comes with the admission of 56,872 polling units. How did this happen? Mayor Ogidi was at the INEC headquarters today as the issue of more polling units was put to rest.
An extraordinary scenes on election day for the past 25 years, but they may not exist anymore.
And the glory of our democracy to unveil the new polling units in Nigeria.
Journey of determination, commitment and faith by INEC and stakeholders have given birth to the delivery of 56,872 new polling units, bringing the total number to 176,846. By zonal analysis, Northwest comes first, followed by North Central, Southwest, South-South, Northeast, and Southeast. Lagos, Kano, and Kaduna states top the table, while Ekiti, Bayelsa, and Gombe are at the bottom.
For subsequent elections, beginning from the Anambra State Governorship election, holding on 6 November 2021, there will be no voting points anymore in Nigeria, only polling units.
During the exercise, 749 polling units in inappropriate locations were removed.
Of this figure, 232 were removed from private properties, 145 royal palaces, 6 mosques, 21 churches, and 9 shrines.
The completion of this exercise serves as a forerunner to the continuous voter registration exercise coming up June 28. 25 years old challenge finally settled. That is the issue of the polling units. But there are 2 more challenges ahead of INEC. These are the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun states. And the commission has fixed 18th of June 2022 for the governorship election in Ekiti state, while that of Osun state is slated for the 16th of July 2022. And the commission says it is prepared for the task ahead in 2022. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
We wish the Commission all the best. Now, Nigeria's succession plan under democratic leadership is said to have remained a model for achieving a robust economic and political transformation of the country. The positive trajectory dominated stakeholders' perspective during NTA Tuesday Live on the assessing of democracy as a tool for nation building. Abubakar Usman Akwanga has that.
22 years of democratic experiment under the Fourth Republic has created a huge platform for Nigerians to pursue their legitimate demands and uphold the sanctity of national sovereignty.
We tend to underrate our achievements and look down on the gains that we have made. But if we look carefully, knowing that no democracy is perfect, and that not even the United States that can be said to be perfect. We had an election in which somebody is still contesting it.
Now, while these norms are shaping the lives of many Nigerians, few miscreants are frustrating genuine efforts of government in building a strong and viral Nigeria that will entrench stability and foster social cohesion.
The electorate should also ensure you vote for the right people. Vote for independent people that you can hold accountable. Vote for the people that can go and work for you, to ensure that if any governor misbehaves, you can call him to order. But as of now, checks and balances at the lower level is really weak.
Guest on NTA Tuesday Live admits that the 22 years has been eventful despite challenges to nationhood, and appealed for the cooperation between arms and tiers of government for sustainable progress.
the elites or the persons who are in government should know that being in government means service. It's not about yourself, it's about the people. It's not about what do I keep, what do I take back. It's about what do I give back or put in. How will I be remembered for how I have exercised the functions of this office?
We just have to look at our neighbors, look at other federations, and do the same. That is the way, that is exactly what is meant by the structuring. It's not that we're going to destroy the whole place and rebuild. No, it's to amend all these things gradually, and we'll get to the El Dorado.
As the nation's democracy grows to maturity, stakeholders say participation and inclusiveness in active governance should be the hallmark of development politics. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, rail transportation is taking a new dimension in the country, with a classy and stylish coaches, state-of-the-art station and ticketing system. While the trend has hit the Lagos-Ibadan axis, and users of rail transportation in Ibadan say it is also boosting the socio-economic potentials of the state. Larry Belay monitored the operations in the station and files in this report.
It's 7:45 in the morning and the first trip en route Lagos from Ibadan station ready to go. The arrival and departure process seems perfect, with passengers embarking and expressing satisfaction with the service.
Fantastic. God bless Nigeria. It is convenient, it is easy, it is comfortable.
This is the kind of thing we've been expecting. It certainly will attract more people to travel by rail.
The AC is working perfectly. You have entertainment. I mean, you can relax. The seats are very comfortable, and everything's so far so good.
Around the station, a steady buzz of commercial activities are started, although makeshift, but nonetheless attending to crucial needs of passengers.
It's increasing. You know, before it was just one train will go in the morning and it's will come in the evening. But now it is train will come in, it will go in the morning, and if afternoon it will still go back to Lagos. So I think train is moving twice now.
The town folks, where the Ibadan station is situated in Moniya area, were enthusiastic about the commencement of activities in the station and have started looking for ways to be active participants in the commercial gains that could be generated out of the station.
We employ government to involve in us selling market here and then selling tickets, and in terms of transportation we want government to involve our people.
It's an impressive service, says passengers disembarking from Lagos end of the route to Ibadan.
Wonderful experience. I don't think I'll go through road to Lagos to Ibadan or Ibadan to Lagos.
It's very okay, but they can improve it. But the AC is okay, everything's okay. I'm extremely surprised, and also they keep to the time.
For now, the trains are on a two-way journey to and fro Lagos and Ibadan. This is the old train station in Ibadan, a major train stop during the old glory days of train travel in Nigeria. With the one happening in Moniya, one could proudly and safely say the glory days are back in train travel, bigger and better. In Ibadan, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
You can say that again, Larry. Now, experts say after being on the drawing board and delayed by previous administrations, President Muhammadu Buhari has finally flagged off construction work for the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Train 7 project in Bonny Island, Rivers State. The Nigeria LNG Train 7 project is expected to boost Nigeria's liquefied natural gas tremendously, and experts say it is strategic to the country's long-term economic stability. Lydia Sampson reports.
The NLNG Train 7, expert says, was stalled due to poor play by previous administrations following the start of construction at Nigeria LNG. With a ceremony presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, the NLNG is set to play a critical role in the realization of the country's decade of gas. The project, costing $10 billion, will create 12,000 direct jobs in addition to 40,000 indirect construction jobs.
The commitments of the federal government of Nigeria to monetize and deepen gas utilization in our country, to increase domestic gas utilization, and of course, ultimately creating value.
I can assure you that we will not relent in our resolve to make gas the major economic driver of our dear nation.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who participated via video conference, reiterates his support for NLNG and its shareholders, especially for proving that a Nigerian company can operate a world-class business.
NLNG has generated 114 billion United States dollars in revenues over the years, 39 billion United States dollars in taxes, 18 billion United States dollars in dividends to the federal government, and 15 billion United States dollars in feed gas purchase.
The 27 project will add around 8 million tons per year of LNG to NLNG, taking the total to around 30 million tons per year. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for that. Now joining me in the studio to discuss more on the benefits of the NLNG 27 is Tokbe Fashua. He is the CEO, Global Analytics Consulting Limited. It's good to have you, Mr. Fashua, on News Extra tonight.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
All right. So much has been said about, the NLNG 27 project. So what would you say? The president has already flagged off the construction. Now, what's the significance of the project?
It's really very significant, especially given the fact that Nigeria hadn't made any investment in that area since 2007. So we're talking of about 14 years gap that there was kind of divestment, if you like, from the natural gas, liquefied natural gas sector or subsector of the oil industry. And of course, today people are talking about diversification of the economy. We know what's going on with crude oil in the global markets and so on. And so this is a very major step that the government has taken in the right direction. Also, the whole idea is also to reduce the gas flaring going on in that region, especially in the deep sea, as well as even some of the onshore assets as well. So it's a great investment that we have made. And of course, if you look at the model of NLNG, of course, it's a joint venture. The NNPC has about 49%, Shell 25%, ENI, I think 10%, and Total about 15%. So, and it has worked, and that's the most important thing. That this model that has worked needs to be built on. The president did say that this is train 7, and he said, look, guys, we have to be in a hurry because we have to do train 8. And already I hear that they're talking about train up to train 12. Okay. Why they call it a train is that, the plant, it kind of works like a train, from one input to the other, like having coaches so that you get the output. Nigeria is actually known in those circles as a gas country. We have about, by 2022, we're going to have about 220 trillion cubic feet of gas. So we're actually a gas country with a little bit of crude oil. And so that's what the minister was saying, that they're going to ensure that gas becomes the real main issue going forward. So
what you're saying is it's a critical project. Absolutely. From what you've said. And so many people have portrayed that. So why was it stalled by, past administrations?
Well, it depends on, of course, the vision. Well, it depends on the vision of the administration. It depends on the sense of urgency. Of course, it's not, these are very, and of course, it depends on the availability of investment. Another report also says that there was a tussle between maybe they should invest more in Brass LNG, which is in Bayelsa State, or they should continue with the one in Bonny, which is what they're doing now. And of course there was that contention between the Goodluck Jonathan government and the Rotimi Amechi, who was governor of Rivers State. Yeah. So there are several considerations, of course, but with the model they have on ground, and in fact this particular step, yes, now you can see that they've been able to raise some money from NLNG itself is quite liquid. So they put up some money, then of course they were able to get some Nigerian banks to come together as a consortium to put up, and then they got some money from abroad as well.
Well, NLNG is sited in Body Island, the River State. We all know that. Now, do you see it dousing host community agitations? And if it doesn't, how will the immediate community benefit?
Yes, I think the real problem, because as last week I saw that some of the community people went and blocked LNG gate, sometimes last week,
Okay.
and then you begin to wonder if some of those agitations will end. I think that, rather than a scenario where we wait for those community people to go and picket industries that are located there, that's supposed to also benefit them, employ people from those communities, then the real issue should be the state government, the local government should be the ones delivering the goods to the people.
Yeah,
so before the people say, look, you are here, we need something from you. Things like education, health issues, jobs for the youth and so on should actually be taken care of more. And I think all of the agitations that's going on now also makes our government sit up, and you can see some of the policies. You just showed something on the rail sector and all of that. Some of the policies are looking good, and that's what it's all about. That's what governance is about.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Tokwe Fashua, the CEO Global Analytics Consulting Limited. Thank you so much for coming on our News Extra tonight.
You're welcome.
Do have a great night.
Thank you.
All right. The All Progressive Congress, APC, has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari, who is also the Minister of Petroleum Resources, for flagging off the construction of the $10 billion Nigerian liquefied natural gas Train 7 project. A statement by the National Secretary, Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Senator John James Akpan Udo Edehe, indicates that the project is expected to take Nigeria's capacity to process its abundant gas deposit to about 30 million metric tons annually. This is in addition to boosting Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings and job creation. Nigeria has embarked on other gas utilization projects, which include the National Gas Expansion Program, the construction of the 614-kilometer Jakarta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline, and the auto gas policy. And technological advancement is a scaling human endeavors, but its adoption sometimes poses threats to the safety of lives on planet Earth. The federal government is therefore reviewing the nation's biosecurity policy to produce a responsive action plan that will guarantee the health of the environment. Onengifa Face reports.
Humans, animals, plants and water bodies which are at the receiving end of the impact of biological threats are part of the environment. The impact they suffer in turn affects the ecosystem and disrupts socioeconomic activities.
The strategy and action plan is to ensure that there are responses, and also apart from bringing responses to threats, we must also be able to predict the likelihood of threats, bio-threats, and what do we do to ensure that these threats are averted.
Now the Zero Draft National Biosecurity Policy and Action Plan under review is expected to drive a workable biosecurity system, which will serve as a fundamental approach to minimize risks of biological threats to humans, plants and animal health, taking into account the environment and national economy.
Biosecurity remains a strategic and integrated approach that encompasses the policy and regulatory frameworks, including instruments and activities for analyzing and managing relevant biorisks to human, animal, and plant health and associated risks to the environment.
Developed by the National Biosafety Management Agency, the draft policy under review will ensure that advancements in human technology do not result in adverse effects on the environment and biological diversity. In Abuja, Onengiye Fineface, NTA News.
Let's take you to Maiduguri now, where the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabor, has restated the commitment of the Nigerian military to end the war against terrorism in the northeast Nigeria and accelerate the return of lasting peace to the zone. General Irabor gave the assurance when he led service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police on an operational visit to headquarters of the Theatre Command Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai Maiduguri. Memuna Gerba reports.
The peculiar security challenges in northeast Nigeria necessitated the frequent visits
by the Chief of Defence Staff and the Service Chiefs to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, to further strengthen security and give the residents hope. It is to further boost morale of troops on the front line and ensure they are alive to their responsibilities of routing remnants of the terrorists. The visit also accorded the CDS and the service chiefs the opportunity to address issues with a view to performing optimally by troops and defeat the insurgents.
The war in the northeast against ISWAP and Boko Haram will end. The greatest challenge is that peace has not returned to the entire northeast. And that's precisely what I've just spoken to, that we will do everything possible to bring it to an end.
The Chief of Defence Staff and the service chiefs went into closed-door meeting shortly after arrival at the Military Command and Control Center Joint Task Force Operation Haɗin Kai. Acting Theatre Commander Operation Haɗin Kai, Major General Felix Omogui, while briefing the CDS and the service chiefs, said numerous successes were recorded in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations, stressing that the feat achieved has continued to create an enabling environment for socio-economic activities to thrive in the region. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Maimuna. Now, coming up right after the break, the world turns attention to the African child amidst the numerous challenges of contemporary times that threaten his survival, and why homes and schools must serve as rallying points for him now more than ever. Plus, the dangerous bend somewhere that has become a notorious death trap you should know about as a traveler. Details when we return.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar warmly welcomes Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, on a one-day working visit to Borno State for appraisal of security situation in the northeast. During the visit, scheduled for June 17, 2021, Mr. President will commission some developmental projects executed by the Borno State government. Mr. President will also commission the first phase of 10,000 houses graciously approved by the President for the dignified resettlement of IDPs and refugees across Borno State. Borno's resettlement effort is a bold testimony to the relative peace achieved through ongoing counterinsurgency operations, which are sincerely led by the President, Commander-in-Chief. The people of Borno State deeply recognize Mr. President's undoubtful commitment towards peace restoration in the Northeast. Mr. President, welcome to Borno State. Announcer Alhaji Usman Jiddashua, Secretary to Borno State Government.
Will this penalty be the decider? It's going through the player's mind here. You could cut the tension with a knife. Is there one more twist in this long, rocky road to the final? And here's the kick, and he scores! They've taken the win, they're through.
Don't worry, my boy. There's always a next time.
It's into Ikalo from the wing.
Join the winning team and stream every match with Glow special data plans. For everything Glow, dial *777#. Great supporters of football. Glow.
I did look for pension fund administrator. We're soft, make sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the time when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no, 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 no. The brand is sure them no go stress you. Call them, then they accessible. Yes, customer care where they on point. You no go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment, everything is just a blend. If you know what's good for you, my guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow. Here is a very tough guy who knocks out every opponent. But now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem Soft Gel.
Amatem Soft Gel makes treating malaria easy. Amatem Soft Gel is a game changer.
Oh! The opponent is down!
Amatem for Soft Gel. I good to come on malaria for body.
Available for adults and children. Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Enjoy faster connectivity and amazing discounts in the Airtel HBB seasonal offer. Get a MiFi for 9,999 Naira plus up to 55 GB data, or a router for 19,999 Naira plus up to 160 GB data. Offer valid while stock lasts. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's a farming season. This is a call to farmers. We have a great challenge in feeding our nation. A proud and great country. Let us shun all kind of violence. Let's put our differences aside. Let our diversity unite. Let us unite against insecurity. We can achieve food security. Let us uphold our value, make this country great again, and feed all our nations together.
This message was brought to you by Faruk Rabi Mudi, the National President, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN.
Taste is key and that's how we communicate. Best nourishment in every school. Mama, tasty mama, share the love. We all together. I love my mama. Mama, tasty, nourishing, scooping. Mama,
Mama, best scoop of tasty nourishment.
Welcome back. All necessary arrangements have been put in place in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, to welcome President Muhammadu Buhari on a one-day official visit to Borno state. Yagum Subukar, who went around the city, reports that it is in a preparatory mood for the presidential visit.
Maiduguri, the capital city of Borno, getting set to welcome the president. This followed the statewide broadcast by Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar on the need for Borno citizens to come out en masse and give the president a rousing welcome. Among projects expected to be inaugurated by the president include Borno State University, healthcare facility at Abaganaram, and Dr. Babagana Wakilbe Memorial School.
The state government, is well prepared to receive Mr. President tomorrow. I think we have every reason to come out and tell Mr. President thank you, and at the same time say welcome home.
The Senate building is completed. It has all the infrastructures inside, well furnished, well equipped, and is ready to receive the president for commissioning.
This is Babagana Wakil Memorial School, one of the projects expected to be commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, tomorrow.
More than 95% of our preparation is done, and it is expected that after the enrollment we are going to enroll at least 3,000 to 4,000 students.
NTA News camera lens captured some workers, including the disabled ones among them, around major roads in Maiduguri, cleaning and clearing dust in order to give the city a facelift for the presidential visit come Thursday. Despite the over a decade-long insurgency, a lot of infrastructural developments have been achieved by the Zulum-led administration in Borno State. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
Loopholes in the regulation of media, advertising and intellectual property has affected operations and activities in these industries. The Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, at a public hearing convened by the House Committee on Information said amendments of statutory laws in this regard are in the best interest of Nigerians. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Gathered here before the House of Representatives Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values are policymakers, regulators and practitioners in the information industry to make inputs on 5 draft bills being considered for review. The Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, who was represented at the opening of the public hearing, said, "This process will engender quality legislation that is fair and acceptable in tune with international best practice."
If these bills become law, the proposals contained therein will influence the creation of media content. They will determine the content of advertising, guarantee free speech, and establish institutions that will impact our country for generations to come.
The Chairman House Committee on Information, Segun Udebumi, stated that the forum allows for sharing of perspectives to meet the yearnings of citizens.
Democracy is about the people, and the law are made for the people. The program is structured to collectively analyze the provisions of the bill.
The 5 bills being considered for amendments are the National Broadcasting Commission Act, the Advertising Practitioners Act, the National Film and Video Censors Board Act, the Nigeria Press Council Act, and a bill to establish Nigerian Institute of Translators and Interpreters. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In the meantime, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has defended the need for the amendment of the National Broadcasting Commissions Act. The minister appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values 2-day public hearing. Anthony Forson has the details.
The 2 days public hearing by the House of Representatives Committee is receiving memoranda from stakeholders on bills for an act to amend National Broadcasting Commission Act, that of the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria and the National Press Council of Nigeria. Setting the tone for the presentations, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said the amendment is desirable.
Because this seems not to be in line with the thinking of the executive, that very soon the NBC would exit the number of parastatals that whose salaries are paid by the federal government. In other words, very soon NBC will need to be paying its own salaries and will have to pay for all its overheads and all its operations. So if that is the way the executive is thinking, then it will be a drawback. If we now pay everything into the treasury single account, it means then that the government then will have to pay our salaries and pay all our needs. And this would defeat the objective of the federal government, that certain parastatals should contribute more to the revenue.
Other stakeholders who made their submissions were not too far from the minister's position. For APCON and NPC, they were all in unison. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The African child becoming a prey, especially in the school, as bandits and kidnappers unleash torture and instill fear. So celebrating the African child this year comes with formation of common fronts by parents to provide more safety at homes and schools. This call is coming from Nigeria's First Lady at a gathering in Abuja to mark the 2021 Day of the African Child. Murjana Adam Said reports.
It was in 1979 when about 10,000 black children were killed in Soweto, South Africa, following a protest against poor quality of education. This informed the global commemoration 41 years after. The issues that necessitated the protest are still much around, especially in Africa. Some out of school, others on the street, while in an extremely unfortunate situation, kidnapped in their quest for education. And these are heartbreaking, the Nigerian First Lady lament in a message to mark the 2021 Day of the African Child.
This day gives us another opportunity to mobilize our efforts for the sake of children's welfare and promote children's rights to a wider audience. It is also important to note that the United Nations Convention on the Right of Child classifies the child's rights under 4 broad themes: survival, development, protection, and participation.
Women bear the emotional pain more, so redefining their roles to create a more compassionate and accommodating society is an assignment. 30 years after the adoption of the Charter, accelerate the implementation of Agenda 2040 for Africa Fit for Children is the theme for the 2021 Day of the African Child. While waiting for that, Nigerian women treated the children to the best of fun, and for those that excel in competitions, at the celebration we are rewarded. In Abuja, Marijanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
The African child, the African future. Now, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, has urged those clamoring for a divided Nigeria to embrace peace and dialogue towards finding solutions to the nation's challenges, as women are more interested in having a peaceful Nigeria devoid of gender-based violence and ethnic conflicts. The minister was speaking at a workshop on gender-based violence data harmonization in Lagos. Joy Ken Abapoya reports.
Global statistics indicates that 1 in 3 women experience either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-sexual partner violence in their lifetime. The situation is not different in Nigeria, as about 30% of girls and women between 15 to 49 years are reported to have experienced sexual abuse. Though governments through the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs have made progress in the fight to curb the trend, appropriate and timely data has remained a challenge. This gathering of government officials, donors, and development partners is therefore to develop a harmonized database for harvesting credible gender-based data in the country.
This meeting, this workshop is very, very critical and it's very important because without data, you cannot do anything. These are variable facts that we need to support issues that pertain to gender-based violence. With data, we can be able to defend and address the issues.
Participants say a single database will give credence to the fight for a better life for Nigerian women and girls.
We are making a lot of headway in ensuring that we have one single reliable indicators that we can contribute to both the national reporting and, of course, the requirement of international reporting.
Data gives us direction. Data gives us more insight, evidence-based figures.
The 5-day data indicator harmonization workshop is organized by Spotlight Initiative, a partnership between the United Nations and the European Union. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapoya, NTA News.
Safety and professional conduct of the uniformed workforce is considered vital to development. This is why the Federal Road Safety Corps is to install body cameras on its officers on the roads. This is to monitor their activities and safety as they carry out their duties on Nigerian roads. Corps Marshal Buba Oyeyemi made this known in Abuja during the half-year strategy session of zonal commanding officers and sector commanders. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the details.
Assault on personnel of the Federal Safety Corps has been a reoccurring event, which many have continuously condemned, though with some culprits punished for the act, but some go scot-free. This has led to the inability of the authority to serve proper disciplinary action against the culprits. In order to address this ugly trend, the Federal Safety Corps is to commence the installation of body cameras on its officials on duty to monitor their activities on the roads as well as ensure their safety.
Now we observe a reduction in mob attacks. That one has gone down now, but we still need more security to get the boys to carry out the duties and responsibilities assigned. Soon, within the next few weeks, we are going to deploy the body cameras for the patrol team so that assault cases will reduce, and also it will also check the behaviors of the boys too. So within the next few weeks, we are test running it. We deploy the body cameras as are recommended by the National Security Advisor.
The Corps is partnering with other security agencies in the country in order to protect its personnel in the face of insecurity in the country. With the theme Enhancing Operational Strategies in the Midst of Security Challenge, this strategic session reflects the collective gains of the Corps as well as identify areas of attention to structure a pathway capable of driving the administrative and operational benchmark of the Corps. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps will tell you that accidents don't just happen, they are caused. That has been a long-time notion, and rightly so. Now, there is this dangerous bend along the Kano-Maiduguri highway as you approach Birnin Kudu town in Jigawa State that has witnessed accidents, claiming about 100 lives in the last 10 years. Only last week, 18 lives were lost there. And Mohammed Musa Askira was there to unravel the major cause of accidents on that spot. And here are his findings.
This is one of the busiest and oldest roads in Nigeria. It is a link road between the northeast and rest of the country, built since colonial era. Because of what experts described as structural defects in the portions of the road such as this particular area, more than 100 lives were lost through accidents in the past couple of years. The single carriageway has many dangerous horizontal curves and overgrown trees, preventing clear view of motorists to see other oncoming vehicles from the other end of the road. These, coupled with what many described as reckless driving, are some of the factors responsible for the frequent accidents experienced on the road, resulting in the loss of lives and property. Only last week, 18 lives were lost to another of such accidents where two 18-seater buses had a head-on collision, resulting into firebursts that burned the vehicles and the passengers beyond recognition.
Instead of them to realign the road, to minimize the horizontal curves, they went and followed the old ass road.
Here are mass graves of those killed by the crashes on the same spot close to Birnin Kudu town. The situation has prompted the Federal Ministry of Works, concerned citizens and safety officials to go back to drawing board to find an end to this frequent road carnage.
We are appealing to the federal government to come to our aid by clearing the vegetation or aligning the road to minimize the rate of these accidents. It is obvious that this vegetation are posing a serious danger. The curve in the road is sharp, so you can see while driving along this curve and you cannot see oncoming car.
For now, as motorists await the immediate solution, road safety experts are cautioning drivers against overspeeding anytime they approach the dangerous spot. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
There's this nostalgic feel I'm having because I also lost someone on that particular sport or at that particular sport. Now, from the comfort of your couch, you can now take a virtual tour crisscrossing the country, learning about its rich history through cultural objects via the virtual museum concept introduced by the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. Oyena Akalo Oka tells us more about this interesting development.
With just a click, I am wandering through Nigerian museums, admiring the artworks and learning about the history and rich culture and tradition. This is an experience one can never imagine. Uchenna Anakwe is an art lover. She loves to visit museums. But getting this now is quite difficult, especially with the COVID-19. With this system, she wanders away, admiring creative works.
Seeing this, I'm like, wow, like I can actually access it through my phone. I don't need to even go to a physical to a physical museum rather, to even look at them. So it's just really amazing.
Celebrating this year's International Museums Day with the theme The Future of Museums, Recover and Reimagine, Nigeria says it is taking up the task.
Virtual museum is the way forward now, because with this pandemic, with this experience we have, that museums have been shut for a whole year without any public access. So we want to avoid this kind of situation. That's why we are digitizing our collections so that we make it available for our people to access online.
Repatriation of Nigerian stolen artifacts, which is being championed by the Commission with the support of Edo State government, is another area given top priority.
The German Director General for the museums was here a couple of weeks ago to reiterate the commitment of the German government to return their works. And by the way, we're already collaborating with them. We have commitments from the British Museum to support a few more archaeological work which was suspended about 50 years ago. So we're resuming to see what more we can find. The Museum of West African Arts, the Edo Museum for West African Arts, will just not be a museum alone. It will also be a research facility into arts and culture.
The need for a national museum in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, was emphasized.
What are the history of a people? What's the collection of arts that you have to display your history and who you are? And a nation without a culture is a finished nation.
We should therefore value what is ours and protect them and take pride in them.
This year's International Museums Day is focused on the use of technology in promoting cultural objects and sites. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
An interesting one there. Another breather beckons at this point, but when News Extra returns, we shall tell you about good old onions and some happenings around it, from fake news to the verified ones. The red rose remains my favorite flower, such a alluring fragrance. Which is yours? We shall take you on a trip to the world of flowers and the trappings. All that and more after this time out.
Hands, whether they belong to the young or old, Christian, or Muslim, no matter who you are, your hands are powerful. To stop the spread of COVID-19. H. Have your hands washed or sanitized frequently. A. Always cough or sneeze into your elbow. N. No going out without a face mask. D. Distance of at least 2 arms length should be maintained. S. Stay indoors and self-isolate if you feel sick. Hands.
It is time for celebration. With goodness, no challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Ultra Guinness, bursting with so much greatness. Ultra Guinness, enjoy a world of good. 30 years of nourishing goodness.
How did I get here? It all started shortly after I graduated from MSTC, the Model Skills Training Center with a certificate in ICT. I successfully developed a data management program that has been called the software of the future. Thanks to its success, everyone wants it. And as you can see, now everyone wants me. But I'm not alone. The skills training programs at MSTC are equipping young Nigerians to become the next big success story. Whether it's ICT, mechatronics, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, or culinary studies, a certificate at MSTC is the way of the future. And just like me, there he is. Everyone will want you to.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Working out can be exhausting, but I know just what to reach for when my team needs replenishment. I just want to relax and enjoy myself at home. That means it's me, my favorite movie, and my favorite yogurt. Hollandia yogurt comes in 2 variants, plain sweetened and strawberry. Wholesome nourishment from your favorite brand.
I am with you at every stage of your life, providing comfort when you are keeping fit, comfort when you are expecting your bundle of joy, comfort during motherhood, comfort in your office, comfort in your car, comfort when sharing a meal, comfort at bedtime. From cradle to grey, there's comfort for you with Vitafoam. Quality is vital. Quality is Vitafoam. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Go big and live stream world-class football and more from SuperSport, the biggest Africa Magic and Emmy award-winning series, blockbusters and kid shows. Go big for less and get Showmax Mobile or Showmax Pro Mobile, plus 2.5 gig MTN data included at a great price that suits you. That's 25 hours of sports, series, movies and kid shows with a 1-month Showmax subscription with 2.5 gig MTN data. Dial *131# or visit showmax.com/MTN now.
Thanks for staying on News Extra. Nigeria Security Printing and Minting Company to print Gambian currency, the Dalasi, as Nigerian Exchange Group All-Share Index closed positive. Let's join Musa Abubakar for details on business news. Musa, it's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. The Managing Director of the Nigeria Security Printing and Minting Company, PLC, Mr. Abbas Masanawa, has reiterated company's readiness to print the Gambian currency, the DLRC, when the collaboration between the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Central Bank of the Gambia is finalized. Mr. Masanawa gave the assurance when the Governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia paid a visit to the company. While receiving the delegation, the Managing Director informed the visiting delegation that the company has the capability in its factories to print currencies, security documents, and provide a wide range of digital security solutions, much easier, safer, and cheaper, as well as faster for the Gambia. Mr. Masanawa particularly lauded the proposed partnership as a major boost for the African continent. He also posited that the success of the collaboration will set a good precedence for other African countries to follow suit. The Mint Currency Division has the capability and capacity to deliver the entire life cycle of currency production. Now, Nigeria's crude palm oil import from Malaysia, the world's second largest producer, has declined by 20.6% year-on-year as local production rises on increased investment. Latest data from Malaysia Palm Oil Council shows Nigeria's crude palm oil import from Malaysia declined by 95,621 metric tons in the first 4 months in 2020 to 75,948 metric tons in the same period in 2021. Experts say the sharp drop can be attributed to the ongoing massive investments by plantation owners in the country, boosting local production in the last 5 years. And now, capital market, the equities market closed Wednesday trading session in positive territory. The all-share index climbed 0.15% to close 38,564.70 basis points, and equity capitalization at 20.09 trillion naira. 302.7 million shares worth 2.8 billion naira were traded in 4,387 deals. Sterling Bank, EcoBank, as well as Wemo Bank are the most traded shares, with a combined value of more than 214 million naira at the end of the day's trading. Well, that concludes business news. So over to you, Fatima.
Oh, thank you so much, Musa. Now, for Nigeria to achieve her industrialization drive, developing capacity of human resources is essential to position it for greater efficiency in the 21st century. This is the thinking of members of the House Committee on Industry who were on oversight visit to the Industrial Training Fund in Jos. Adeyabayang was there.
The visit by the House Committee on Industry is part of their statutory mandate to oversight government organizations towards enhanced socio-economic development of the country. At the ITF headquarters, the Director General, Joseph Ari, told the committee that despite the challenges posed by COVID-19, the fund has successfully carried out its mandate of upscaling the skills of Nigerians to meet the manpower needs of public and private sectors, and has so far trained more than 25 million Nigerians. Apart from skills training and other interventions, the ITF has produced the first indigenous Android GSM phone and has entered into partnership with both public and private organizations, with 13 projects spread across 13 states of the country. It has also established additional offices in Gombe and Ikorodu in Lagos State.
It is our contention that until most Nigerians are equipped with competitive technical skills, we will as a nation continue to fight a losing battle against the blights of poverty and unemployment and their attendant consequences.
Chairman of the committee, Dr. Eniton Dolapo Badru, lauded the fund for its role in changing the socio-economic landscape of the country.
So far, so good. Even without the amendment, you can see that ITF has come up with an Android phone. We are very, very much encouraged.
While in Jos, the committee was at the seat of government, where the governor, represented by his deputy, appreciated the activities of ITF in repositioning and bridging skills gap. As a mark of respect, they called on the Bongom Jos, Dad Jacob Gian Buba, who urged them to come up with legislative framework that will help tackle challenges facing the country.
At the end of your tour, you'll come out with credible and actionable proposals, recommendations that will not only help the ITF, but also help the government.
Work closely with the executive so that we may find solutions to these challenges.
The committee visited NASCO group of companies and the Grand Series, the two industries that are strategic partners of the Industrial Training Fund, in providing the needed hands-on training for many undergraduates, making them employable.
The House Committee on Industry gave the assurance of increased support through enabling legal framework that will further enhance the activities of the ITF. In Jos, Indenyan and Adeyabayang, NTA.
From Jos, let's head to Kebbi, where the Onion Producers and Marketers Association of Nigeria halted the supply of onions to the southeast to protect the lives and property of onion traders and transporters in eastern Nigeria. The news making the rounds is that the cutoff is adversely affecting the producers and marketers. From the Alero Onion Market in Kebbi State, Abdullahi Umaru Ilalu sought the true position of things.
Onion marketers in Kebbi State have described as false news circulating in the media that they are now experiencing losses following the suspension of supply to the southeast Nigeria as a result of the recent unrest in the region. The Sarkin Albasa of Aliru, Alhaji Bello Umar, explained that onion is usually stored in the local storage facility for a maximum of 6 months, adding that the available stock could be preserved for the next 3 months. He added that the cutting off of supply to the southeast will not affect their business, as they also have ready markets in some African countries like Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Niger, among others.
It is not true that our onions spoiled. It is okay in the local store. Some are not even ready to sell for now.
Some onion marketers stated that they will only resume supply of onions to southeast when normalcy returns in the area. They said it is even more profitable if they take their onion to the neighboring countries.
Now every day about 30 trucks loaded with onion leaves Alero to the neighboring countries, and that alone is enough market for our onion. We have many places to take our onion apart from the southeast. It's just a matter of changing the supply direction. We cannot endanger the lives and property of our colleagues.
The marketers took NTA News round some local storage facilities to confirm that the stored onion is not rotten or under any threat. NTA News also met 3 trucks loaded with onion for onward delivery to Ghana. Abdullah Umar Ilalu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is including conflict management and mediation into agricultural development programs with a view to addressing farmer-herder conflicts in the country. To this end, staff and management of Appeals Project are currently undergoing training on conflict management and mediation to drive the initiative. Musa Babaliu reports.
And disputes over farmland and disagreements between farmers and cattle breeders affecting food production and supply in the country. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture thought it wise to equip staff with basic skills in mediation and conflict resolution as a way of addressing disputes and crises among farming communities.
What the ministry can do is to ensure continuous dialogue and serve as what we call insider mediators.
In this hall are staff and management of the agro-processing productivity and livelihood improvement support project undergoing basic mediation skills for effective rural capital development.
Training is therefore aimed to enhance and reinforce the technical skills and capacity of the participants on basic principles and concept of conflict mediation skills.
This training will really enhance the capacity of the project implementation unit to really ensure that all grievances registered are addressed appropriately.
Involved in resolving grievances coming out of maybe participating stakeholders in the art of carrying out their duty. You are bound to have a course like this to be able to mediate in the arising issues.
The 3-day training is expected to have a positive impact on rural farming communities and youth participating in the World Bank-funded project. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Thank you, Musa. Imagine a situation where more than 100,000 youths spread across the 774 local government areas of the country key into the federal government's diversification program aimed at making Nigeria self-sufficient both in production, consumption and export of goods and services. This, the National Youth Service Corps scheme is doing with the repositioning of its ventures for enhanced revenue drive. Olanka Ojo in this report takes a look at what the scheme is doing to ensure viability through the program.
In 2012, the NYSC created the Ventures Management Department to manage the scheme's platform for training and mentoring of youth corps members. The target is self-reliance and to develop entrepreneurial spirits of participants. The overall essence is to boost Nigeria's gross domestic product. But how impactful is it?
I supply rice bran to farmers in Southwest. Even though as a youth you don't have interest in maybe planting of rice, you can also go into marketing of rice.
Now, it is time for the repositioning of the NYSC Ventures for enhanced revenue generation. The scheme places a high premium on profit making from these ventures.
To meet a high percentage of NYSC requirements for core members' kits and other orientation needs.
With the management closely monitoring the activities of these ventures and the desire to maximize return on investment, this workshop for farms and ventures managers seeks to answer the question of complementing the economic development and local content strides of the federal government.
All NYSC ventures are now operating as business entities with high premium placed on profit making.
Haruna Ali Altise is one of the farm managers. He supervises the NYSC farm in Lele Kwali, where rice and groundnuts are being cultivated.
The cassava will be due for harvest in September. The same thing with the granules. And now we have started the cultivation for this year.
Haruna and many like him are optimistic that with the right modalities, the journey to self-sufficiency is possible through the NYSC farms and ventures. Lainka Ujo, NTA News.
Okay. Do you know that engaging in horticulture or picking up unique flowers for environmental beautification could be a great way to create one's oasis? As plants generally keep environments clean by providing abundant supply of oxygen. As such, protection and care are required for their growth. Just as Uduak Etim in this special report looks at the benefits of flowers in environments and their adaptation to climate change.
A flower, sometimes known as a bloom or blossom, is the reproductive structure found in flowering plants and are beneficial to the environment. This is because flowers are known to usually produce much of the oxygen in the atmosphere through the process of photosynthesis. Studies have routinely proven that with an increase in the number of plants, there is an improvement in air quality. So it is with this general acceptability that planting flowers can be a great way to make the environment a beautiful place.
My name is Rose. I'm also a part of what you call flower, because we have a species of rose, a species of flower called rose flower.
Basically, as you can see, it's beautiful. Okay, I will start with that. Flowers are very beautiful in areas. So having a good garden of flowers in your compound or vicinity is very nice. And there are some flowers that actually help in scaring some animals away, like snakes and some reptiles like that.
In the case of artificial flowers, Nigerians continue to appreciate them as gifts and for their beauty, just like a floral bouquet usually carried by a bride during a wedding ceremony. These are attractive to the eyes while also adding color to events. But as the world experiences climate change, this expert says natural flowers have been adapted by expanding into new territories while shifting their breeding seasons.
The ornamentals, of course, they help to beautify our environment. Not just that, much more to that. They produce oxygen, which we breathe, and absorb carbon dioxide, which goes to increase the temperature, that is, it destroys the ozone layer and therefore increase the temperature of the earth.
As man continues to conquer his environment, experts advise that flowers, which help to heal common cold, improve mood and memory, aid relaxation as well as increase energy, should be an integral of man's immediate environment at all times. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
You've said it all, Uduak. So far, so good. When we come back from this next break that we are about to take, security holds sway from criminals who met their Waterloo to how some states have upped their games with tackling insecurity. Stay right there for all the details.
Vision classes on television for students in secondary schools in English and mathematics will commence on the NTA. Wednesday, 16th June 2021. The revision classes will transmit Mondays to Fridays from 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on the network service of the NTA. This is organized in preparation for the various national examinations and orders. This is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Education.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action Toothpaste. Sensodyne Rapid Action Toothpaste, available in a big 100-gram tube and a small 25-gram tube.
The internet at home disconnects me, but that's a thing of the past. Today, I found the great solution. With Connect, I can get internet from space. It's super fast satellite internet from Connect. It's great. I can get internet everywhere. It's super simple and super fast. It's Connect. Broadband up to 100 megabits per second. All this from 6,900 naira per month. Isn't it great? Go to connect.com.
John, you can use our toilet now.
Ew! My mommy said I should always use a toilet that is cleaned with Hypo toilet cleaner. James will bite my bone.
John, what's the problem? Use Hypo toilet cleaner. Introducing the new and affordable Hypo toilet cleaner. Kills germs and deodorizes your toilet.
Finally, Euro 2020 is here. Enjoy all the matches live on Star Times for only 1,700 naira monthly or 160 naira per day. Recharge now to enjoy all the matches. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal, Mbappe of France, Lukaku of Belgium, and other top European football stars. No matter where you are, Star Times is here for you. You can enjoy all these matches on your mobile phone. Just download Star Times on app on your phone to watch all the matches for 1,000 naira monthly or 400 naira weekly. Recharge today with 1,700 naira monthly or 160 naira daily. That's right, you heard me. On Star Times, you can watch all the matches with monthly subscription of 1,700 naira or daily subscription of 160 naira. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times, enjoy digital life.
Hey, welcome back. Kano is about to witness a new lease in the fight against criminals as the Nigerian Navy plans to move its special boat service to Kano. Chief of Policy and Plans, Rear Admiral Christian Ezekobe, disclosed this when he led a delegation on a visit to Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje in the ancient city. Abdullahi Mustafa will tell us more.
The 10-man delegation came to Kano at the instance of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo. Among messages brought, leader of the delegation and Naval Chief of Policy and Plans, Rear Admiral Christian Ezekobe, stated, a concluded plan to establish a Nigerian Navy Comprehensive Secondary School in Kano.
Most Nigerians do not know that the #1 special forces in the country today is domiciled with the Navy. We have the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service. They are the most potent in Nigeria today. The Army acknowledges that and the Air Force acknowledges that. They are trained by the American SEALs and the British Special Boat Services. So that component of their training that has to do with desert warfare could be moved to Kano State.
He also told the governor that the Naval Officers' Wives Association is planning to establish a 200-bedded hospital for less privileged in Kano. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, while expressing gratitude to the Navy High Command for the developments brought to Kano, assured of support towards actualization of the project and successful conduct of the conference. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, has visited the NDLEA on areas of joint interest. One of such is to ensure that justice is served for those responsible for implicating Zainab Aliyu for alleged drug trafficking and subsequent 2 years incarceration in Saudi Arabia. Abdul Malik Hassan has that.
It was days of trauma behind the walls in Saudi Arabia for Zainab Aliyu,
A bitter experience she will never forget. Pained because she was later not found guilty of illicit drugs she was accused of and gained freedom following the federal government of Nigeria intervention. Zainab now feels alive, living as a free woman. But what happens to that traumatizing effect?
The trauma goes on and off. Sometimes it will go, but sometimes the thing it will just punch back to me. What I want is to gain my justice, because the case has been for almost 2 years and some months. Not only for me actually, but for people in Nigeria who will be innocently accused like mine.
NIDCOM boss Abike Dabirirewa and the NDLEA are back on the conference table discussing to ensure the real culprits are served with the punishment they deserve as drug traffickers.
The case is still in court. They've been adjourning and adjourning and adjourning, and 2 years on, nothing has been done. So we hope and pray that NTA will ensure that Zainab still gets justice. The people have been apprehended. They are walking about freely.
I wrote the airlines about 6 weeks ago a letter putting in very clear terms what they need to do and what we could do. This is all to safeguard innocent Nigerians like Zainab.
There is the optimism here that justice will soon be served to Zainab and her likes who have fallen victims of such circumstances. In Abuja, Abdul Malik Hassan, NTA News.
36 suspects in different crimes are to face prosecution by the police. Francis Form reports that the suspects paraded at the Special Tactical Squad Office Guzapi Abuja include vandals of railway locomotive sleepers arrested in Nasarawa, Benue and Cross River states.
These 3 trucks loaded with rail track materials allegedly stolen by these suspects were being conveyed to the end receiver in Cross River State before it was intercepted by operatives of the Nigeria Police Force.
We want to appeal to citizens out there, and particularly members of the communities who are hosts to some of these facilities, to take ownership of these facilities.
This 60-year-old man is the leader of the gang of kidnappers who specialize in concealing arms and ammunition in the engine compartment of his vehicle and moving them safely from one location to the other.
Because of his age, police personnel, security agencies on the road will traditionally, in the best African tradition, extend a lot of courtesies to him. And this is how he beats security.
Another gang of 5 specializes in stealing cars using master keys purchased at the rate of 5,000 each. The suspects confessed to have stolen more than 30 cars.
30 cars. When you steal a car with the master key, you used to give this allergy so that this allergy will go with the car. For me, I used to stay like standby. When person park, I used to follow him so that I will see where he's going to enter.
12 assorted weapons, 20 AK-47 magazines, 346 rounds of AK ammunitions, 24 rounds of live cartridges, cash sum of 1.4 million naira, 6 stolen cars, and other valuable items was said to have been recovered from the suspects. Francis from NTA News.
Any genuine efforts to tackle insecurity in the country is a welcome development. That is why it is gladdening to hear that about 161 members of 9 voluntary security outfits have been trained and inaugurated into the Niger State Special Vigilante Corps to complement the efforts of other security agencies to stem insecurity and maintain law and order in the state. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, who inaugurated the Special Vigilante Corps, handed over 10 Toyota pickup vans and 20 motorcycles to ease their task. Hussein Amusa reports.
The Niger State Special Vigilante Corps, which comprised of 9 voluntary security outfits, were harmonized after a series of negotiations to checkmate the activities of thugs and other criminal elements in their communities. The Special Vigilante Corps, who were presented appointment letters by the state government, were trained for 2 weeks at the police training school and are expected to assist in curbing youth restiveness to complement conventional security agencies. To enhance effective service delivery, the Vigilante Corps were supported with 20 motorcycles and 10 pickup vans.
The threat in Mina is different from the threat outside. These special vigilantes you are seeing, you will recall that about a month ago, almost on daily basis, you have youth coming out with cutlasses, fighting themselves. The special vigilante corps you're seeing here is to maintain law and order with the police in Mina. They are to complement the efforts of the police so that this menace, this nonsense happening in Mina should stop immediately so that people can move freely.
Governor Abakar Sani Bello urged the Vigilante Corps to carry out their responsibilities within the confines of the law, disclosing that the state government will take responsibility of members in case of any casualty in the line of duty. In Mina, Hussain Musa, NTA News.
Let's talk sports now. Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibu Mohammed, has pledged more support for sports development in the country. He made the pledge when members of the Open Group Initiative for Sustainable Badminton Urges Network visited him in Abuja. Tamara Ibiwe reports.
Open Group Initiative for Sustainable Badminton Network, OGIS, a sports group that train and organize badminton championships in the country, has sought support from the NTA to develop the sport in Nigeria through maximum coverage and reportage. They appealed to the NTA to allow players get enough training time ahead of championships during their visit to the DG of NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed. Manager Godwin Emmanuel lauded the NTA for partnering with them at the just-ended championship in Abuja, where Team NTA participated. The DG, who lamented NTA's exit at the quarterfinals, urged them to up their game and win clean next time.
I congratulate you for participating and getting to the quarterfinals, but I'd like to tell you that it's not good enough. I need you to go there, participate, and win. But you must win fairly.
A jersey was presented to the DG, a participatory medal, and an award of recognition, while NTA's badminton team were presented participatory bronze medals. Tamara Ibiwe, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Tamara, for that sports package. And with that, we conclude News Extra for tonight. Don't forget to join the NTA to stand against rape and rapists, as that is the fastest way to becoming a star. And with that, like I said, we conclude News Extra. Enjoy the rest of your night. I am Fatima Umar Buba.